Our next session is Hip Hop Financial. So I have a question for you guys. I need you to raise your hand if it applies to you. Do you like having money? So some people like having money, right? Okay, so this next person that is coming up to talk to you is, he wants to talk to you about how to keep the money that you have and double it and triple it and maybe quadruple it. So you're young now, you know the money that you do get, you spend it on the things that you want, but he's here to tell you how to make that money big, something great. So when you do get a little bit older, that you'll have them saved up and invested in important things, right? To make more money. So I have Eric Patrick for you here today. Hip Hop Financial. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Let's get this projector going here. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Okay, so that was pretty good. She was getting us live in here, so I want to kind of get it live again. So when I say make that, y'all say money. Let's try that again. When I say make that, y'all say money. Make that. When I say save that, y'all say money. Save that. Save that. When I say invest that, y'all say money. Invest that. Invest that. All right. So how many of y'all like to have nice things? Like clothes, a car, shoes, video games, and of course those things cost money, right? So, let me move this out the way. So we all like those. All right, so I have those things, we know those things cost money, right? So my financial journey started back when I was in the 7th grade. So it was the night before the first day of school, and I'm looking in my closet like, what am I gonna wear? I go ahead and grab the lime green Tommy Hilfiger polo with the green and plaid Tommy shorts to match, and I even had the Tommy sneakers that you can see the flag when you zip them up in the front. I thought I was super fresh. So I had the shoes sitting just below my outfit on the bed, thinking like, dang, I'm gonna kill them in the morning. Now I was good in school, but the only grade I was worried about was getting an A in style. Even my friends wondered, how can you go a full 9 weeks without repeating one outfit? Now I had 2 secrets on how I did this. One, even though my brother was older than me, we wore a lot of the same sizes in clothes and shoes, so it was no thing to swap some items out. And 2, my mom was a genius when it came to school shopping, because not only did she buy us things before school started, but she really stocked up for us during the winter months when they were on sale. See, in Florida, we don't really have seasons like that, so there were no winter months. So it's no thing to get a few short sets in January and February, because you can wear them right away. Now, there was one person who really wasn't supporting my aspirations to be on the cover of GQ magazine, and that was my language arts teacher, Miss Bray. Now, Miss Bray was old school. I'm talking about write something on the board 100 times when you get in trouble old school. And in her class, we had Accelerator Reader. Now, I'm not sure if y'all familiar with that, but Accelerator Reader was essentially you got to read books, you get points, and every 9 weeks you had to get at least 40 points as a part of your grade. And if you got 0 points, they could literally drop your grade a whole letter grade. Now, I know earlier we heard about you need to read and you have math for these SAT and ACT, but reading just wasn't my jam. Okay, I was intimidated by the big words. I was more intimidated by the length of some of the books, and it just wasn't for me. I was into math and science. But my mom saw this, and she said, you know what, Lamar? That's my middle name. She said, Lamar, if you can, I see that you're getting good grades, you get A's in all your classes except one class. What class do y'all think that was? Exactly. So she said, if you can get your 40 points this last 9 weeks, I'm gonna get you the pair of shoes of your choice. I looked at her and I said, are you talking to me? You knew I was all in on that because in my mind, I wanted to get a pair of J's. Now, I talked about having the Tommy Hilfiger shoes and I saw some eyes raised like, what was this boy thinking? But even though I told you that my mom was a bargain shopper and J's just wasn't on sale. J's was $120, $150 and she was like, I'm not buying that. So this is my time to get in the game. So I went to the library the next day and I looked for the hardest, thickest book I could find worth all the points in the world. Because I wanted all them points. Where did I find The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas? When I tell you this book was at least 400 pages. It was college reading level, and I swear there were more words in that book than I had hair on my body. But I was like, I'm shooting for the fences on this one. I gotta get these shoes. So I get it, I read it for a few weeks, I go back into Miss Bray's class, and I sit in the corner where she had a computer set up to take your AR test. And I'm ready, I'm focused. You would have thought I wrote the questions myself. So I get in there, sure enough, not only do I get my 40 points, but I get 50 points. So I'm like, it's lit right now. Like, I'm about to get these J's, I'm gonna get some socks in there too, because I went exceedingly and abundantly. So I go ahead and get home from school, waiting on my mom to get home from work. She get home late that night. And I'm like, Mom, I got my 40 points. Let's go ahead and hit them all up. Let's get these shoes. You can throw some socks in the bag too. And she was like, boy, stop. Mom ain't even open right now. Let's go ahead and wait till the weekend. I was like, that's fine. You know where to find me. So you may be wondering, like, what does all this talk about the clothes and shoes and getting AR points have to do with money? And it's really set into my mind about how to try to achieve something using some SMART goals. And so if you're not familiar with SMART goals, it's essentially going to be, it's going to be specific, it's going to be measurable, you can have it be achievable, realistic, and timely. So I knew that I had a specific goal of trying to get a pair of J's, right? And then it was a measurable goal because for me to get these J's, I need to get 40 points on an AR test. Okay, no problem. Was it achievable? Yeah, I had some obstacles in the way. Reading wasn't my jam, as I said, but I knew that I could achieve it by simply reading some books. Particularly, I chose one book that was worth a lot of points, and I could get it. It was realistic or essentially relevant because J's is what I was interested in. And lastly, it was timely because I had 9 weeks to do it. And essentially, I'm able to apply these same concepts to when it comes to money. I can set specific goals, make sure it's measurable and achievable. Also, it has to be realistic or relevant to what I want, such as the clothes, the shoes, or whatever, and it has to be timely. So, real quick, I want to get some volunteers. Can I get 2 volunteers from each side? Okay, go ahead. You 2, come on. Come on. Come on, we got 2 girls, 2 boys? Yeah, go ahead, come on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little activity. I want y'all to come to this side. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have to get from this side of the room to that side of the room. And I want everybody to cheer for your side. So you 2 were sitting on this side, and you 2 were sitting on this side. What's your name?
Michaela.
Morris.
Bree. Manny.
All right, y'all give it up for them real quick. All right. So we have to get from this side to this side. But no one can do the same thing going across. Okay? There's none of this, nobody's just going to be walking across like this. No. Everybody has to do something different to get across. We have the same goal, but it's a different obstacle, okay? So hold on, let's get ready. Remember, y'all make sure to cheer y'all side on now, okay? Let's hear y'all on the left side. Come on, y'all can do better than that. Right side, how y'all gonna do? Left side, y'all wanna try again? Left side, go ahead, left side. All right, here we go. Go one at a time, okay? So I'm gonna do my little grown man walk, you know. Hey, 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 hey. All right, next up. Y'all gonna cheer them on? Y'all gonna cheer them on? Go ahead. Okay, next up. Come on, let's go. Cheer them on, cheer them on. You got it, you got it. You got it. Patience is a virtue. Okay, right side, y'all gonna cheer y'all people on? Who's next? Let's go. Go ahead. All right. Is it the best for last? Best for last? Hey! All right. Y'all give it up for them. I got something for y'all too, okay? So here's gonna be some stock in some of y'all favorite companies, just for the participating, okay? All right, so these are stock gift cards. It has directions. You'll go to the website, you can register. I'm sure most of y'all under 18, so have your parents are gonna have to go online and register for you. But that's $1 a share in some of your favorite companies, Amazon, Nike, Apple, Netflix, all of them, okay? And so, I want y'all to understand that you see on these gift cards, it says $1, but you have to start somewhere. And that's what I'm doing for my daughters now. I have a 3-year-old. Let me go ahead and cut this music off real quick.
Thank you.
No problem. So I have a 3-year-old and I have a 10-month-old now. And what I do is what's called a 52-week challenge. So my SMART goal for them is I want them by the time they get to high school to have dividend income coming in every single month. So they can choose if they want to have a job or not. That's my goal for them. It's measurable because I know it's when they get to high school, so they're going to be 16. I know it's achievable because I can buy stock over time. It's realistic and it's relevant because I buy companies that apply to them. They're both girls, so I buy L Brands, who owns Victoria's Secret. They like toys, I buy Hasbro stock. I wear Nikes, I get Nike stock. I do things that are very relevant to them. And it's timely because I know what the end goal is. And right now, my 3-year-old daughter has over $4,000 in her investing account today, simply because I sow little seeds throughout the year. I do what's called the 52-week challenge. Every week during the year, you save that dollar amount. So week 1, you save $1. Week 2, you save $2. And by the last week in the year, you save $52. Now you might need your parents' help on that. But by the end of the year, you've almost saved $1,400 by the end of the year. And I do this every year for my daughters. And I put this into an investing account because we need to save. That is very important. The rule of thumb is you're supposed to save at least 10% of what you make. So for every $10 that you make, you should try to save at least $1. But you should also invest your money because you want your money to make more money. And it brings me back to when I learned the SMART money goals when I was in middle school from my mom and in Ms. Bray's class, by the time I got to high school. So my mom was buying me these sneakers, and when I turned 16, my mom said, you know what, your feet is too big, boy, I ain't buying you shoes no more. Like, it's not happening. I was like, all right, what am I gonna do? Like, I gotta get this money from somewhere, because I'm gonna get these shoes. And by the time I got to high school, I moved on from the Tommy shoes, and I was into J's and Air Force Ones only. You wasn't gonna see me in nothing else. So I said I needed to get a job. So I did KFC for a little bit, then I worked at Steak and Shake, and I was able to learn from my mom that I gotta work with the money I had. See, another reason that she shopped during those winter months was because things were cheaper. She didn't have as much money as maybe she would like to get her stuff to pay full price. So she had to get them at a discount, or at least plan for it at the right time. So now, here I am with this job and money coming in, so I can save my money for these shoes that are coming out. And when I was in high school, J's was coming out every 2 weeks. Like, I don't know what the rate is now, but every 2 weeks was a lot. And I was surely gonna get at least one pair every month. So I got one pair of J's every month, and I would also buy a pair of Air Forces every month. By the time I graduated high school, I had to have at least 50 or 60 pair of shoes. Like, it was a lot of pair of shoes. I was buying all of them. Like with the Air Forces, you got low, mid, and high. I was getting 2 pair of each because when you wear jeans, they bled on them at the time unless you put rubber bands on them on the back. So I needed to get a pair for when I wore jeans and a pair for when I wore shorts. This is how much money that I was spending on shoes. Now at this time, Nike stock was about $6 a share. Of course, I didn't know that. Now, Nike stock is about $66 a share. So if I would have bought just 100 shares at the time, $600 is about 4 or 5 pairs of shoes, that would be worth over $6,000 today. Mind you, I don't have any of those shoes today. I maybe have 3 pairs of shoes. So I want you to take away from today that when you set some SMART goals, you make sure that they're specific, you make sure that it's measurable, that it's achievable, it's realistic, and it's relevant to you. I don't want you to just try to save or invest your money to try to get something that is not important to you. If you want to go to school, if you want to get shoes, or whatever it is, but make sure that you have a plan in place. And make sure that you have a time stamp on that as well. For me, like I said, my daughters, that goal is a long-term goal. But I might have a short-term goal next year. Say, hey, my family wants to go on vacation, so I need to get this plan for savings and investing so we can take a vacation next summer. So you can choose those different things. But I want you to know that you just sow those seeds little by little towards your goal. And you can truly achieve anything that you want to achieve. And that's why I had this Quavo quote up here, or lyric, you get the bag and fumble it, I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. See, I was fumbling my bag when I was in high school, but I'm not gonna fumble that bag for my kids. I'm gonna make sure that I flip it and tumble that bag more and more again. So if I'm doing the 52-week challenge now, they can do the 52-week challenge times 2 for their kids. And their kids can do the 52-week challenge times 3 for their kids, simply because I sowed that seed early. And that's really what it's about today when it comes to your money. Make sure that you're setting these SMART goals and you're working with the money that you have and you're saving. I know we have entrepreneur in the room, so that's another means to get money while you're in school. Some of you may have jobs, some of you may get money from your parents for doing chores or an allowance. Make sure that you are using that money to the best of your ability. Save a little bit of that money and then maybe reinvest in a little bit of that money. If you're interested in some of these brands, it's cool to go ahead and get the shoes, but make sure you get some of the stock to go with it. It's cool to get the clothes, but make sure you get the stock to go with it. If you like that video game, EA Sports is one of the best performing stocks I've seen in the past few years. So make sure that you are just not only getting what you want now, but you're sowing that seed for the future as well. So make sure that when you get in the bag, that you don't fumble it, that you're getting it and you're trying to make that money increase. So before I step out of here, I do have one more thing that I want to do for y'all. And first, I want to give thanks to the ladies of Delta Sigma Theta for this event. Y'all give them a round of applause. And before I get to this last part, we're going to have to try this again, okay? So, when I say make that, y'all say money. Make that? Money. Make that? Money. When I say save that, y'all say money. Save that? Money. Save that? Money. When I say invest that, y'all say money. Invest that? Money. Invest that? Money. All right, y'all ready? I see a lot of people rapping on the So Gone Challenge, so I decided to hit the mic and hope I don't lose balance. It's a lot of folks rapping about relationships, so I'm going to hit you with a twist of road gold might miss. I talk a lot about investing in you. Ask what's this? Stocks, IPOs, dividends, and blue chips. Don't forget the bond market and its interest rates, treasuries, munis, and corporate like Bill Gates. Outside of stocks and bonds, what fund you say? Mutual, ETFs, and DEXs to play. I want to trade after hours when I get off stock, doc. No problem, homie. You're in luck. Forex is round the clock. Your job is gotta match. You better be putting the minimum to giving out free money. And this message ain't subliminal. Trying to not taking advantage might as well be seen as criminal. I'm making market and limit orders and I'm a general. You see, it don't take much to invest. Get a little education, you can hang with the best. Now if you want to take it serious, I have a request. Check my website, because I make investing look fresh. Thank y'all, thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Hip Hop Financial. And what's that website? Can somebody tell me what that website is? Who's gonna go look at GDMEX.com?
BMAX stands for Black Market Exchange. BMAX stands for Black Market Exchange. And essentially when I was coming up with this concept, so I was posting things on social media about investing, and some friends had some questions. So I decided to make a website for it, but I felt that a lot of the things that I was looking at wasn't really relevant to me. I saw a lot of Caucasian males, and I saw a lot of suits. And I'm neither one of those. I don't like, I'm not a Caucasian male, and I don't really wear a lot of suits like that. So I wanted to make something for our folks that I feel like we can relate to more. So I tried to incorporate a lot of hip hop, such as with the freestyle at the end, in order to make education easier to learn. So if Future talks about stock or Jay-Z mentions about a bond, I can use that as a learning point in order to teach you about money. So Black Market Exchange was essentially the term black market where a lot of people will go to find things that they can't find somewhere else. I wanted to have a place for people to go where they just really couldn't get the resources that they needed, and that's where Black Market Exchange came from. And it's also for us.
Okay, and Eric doesn't know, but we're gonna have him back for a full seminar next year. So look out for that. And we're gonna try to put something together with him so he can really dig deep with you guys, parents and children, so you can learn a little bit more about investing. And so I can too. I wanna make some money, even though I'm old. But I'm gonna get older and I need some retirement money. But I'd like to thank you so much for coming and participating with us and presenting. And I feel like everyone loved your presentation. I know I did, and learned a little bit something from it. So here's a little thank you from us.
Also, before you guys leave out, I do have some stock for everybody, all the students that are in here today. So you're not left out.
All right, guys, I got money in my hand. We have winners. Okay, so do y'all want to come up? Then we're going to move on to our college fair. Once again, guys, give them a hand because all of them were great. Look forward to seeing you guys more. So, let's see, y'all want me to start first, the third, or third to first? Which y'all want me to do, third to first? All right, third to first. Okay, third place, we have Mr. Morris.